With the Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 12 releasing, bringing the Clone Wars series to an end, many of us are disappointed that we are not getting any new stories from the series. Luckily though, Dave Filoni and his team have just released a new Clone Wars story in the form of a comic, set before the Battle of Cristophsis. The story takes us to the planet Hisseen, where Captain Rex, Commander Cody, and Commander Wolf fight alongside their Jedi generals to protect the people of the planet. I'm going to break down exactly how Captain Rex saved Anakin's life from a vicious beast on the surface of Hisseen. So before we get into it, remember to subscribe to the channel for more awesome Star Wars lore content. At the moment, only 10% of you who are watching this video are subscribed to the channel, so if you do enjoy the video, remember to subscribe. Only a short while before the Battle of Cristophsis, the 501st Legion, along with Commander Cody and Commander Wolf, arrive on the planet Hisseen. They are joined by their Jedi generals Obi-Wan Kenobi, Plo Koon, and of course, Anakin Skywalker. The clones are engaged in heavy blaster fire from the Separatist droid army, with Captain Rex encouraging his men to hold the clankers back. As the droids continue firing their blasters on the clone forces, Commander Cody overhears one of them announce that a backup is on the way. Rex is very distressed by this but continues on with the mission. Finally, backup does in fact arrive. A large unit of B-2 super battle droids bursts onto the battlefield firing their lasers. Because this story is set before the Clone Wars series, this is likely one of the first ever encounters that many of these clones have had with B-2 super battle droids. Commander Cody realizes that although they absolutely must protect the people of the planet, they cannot take on the super battle droids with a frontal assault. Because of this, Commander Wolf offers to lead his men to flank around the battle droids on the west as a nice distraction. Rex puts a quick hold to these plans however, as one of the super battle droids is flung high into the air. The clones are not surprised at all once they realize Anakin, Obi-Wan and Plo Koon have arrived on the battlefield to back them up. The three Jedi generals push straight to the front of the attack line and begin rushing towards the droid army. This prompts Commander Cody to push his men forward, aiding in the assault. Obi-Wan and Plo Koon begin slicing their way through the droid forces, with Kenobi cracking many jokes as he always does, because we know he is the master of trolling. Eventually, the Jedi and clones destroy every single one of the remaining droids, defeating the Separatist forces in the area. Unfortunately though, Plo Koon receives word that Count Dooku and Asajj Ventress have arranged to meet the leader of the planet Hisseen in the mountains, very close to their location. Obi-Wan reveals that the members of the Hisseen Parliament are hiding away, so that Count Dooku cannot dissolve the government on the planet and claim it for the Separatists. To provide protection for these members, the clones must hold their positions very firmly. Cody, Rex and Wolf assure the Jedi generals that they can be counted on to perform their roles. And let me know in the comments down below, which of these three clone leaders are your favourite? For me, Rex is the clear winner, but let me know what you think. After that, we get an awesome little moment between Rex and Cody, where Cody says that he's heard stories about General Skywalker being a little bit crazy and unpredictable. Rex admits that this is true, but affirms Anakin's very strong loyalty to the clones and that he will never leave a man behind. To back up his point, Rex begins telling a story where the majority of the comic takes place. The story begins on the extremely hot planet of Benglor, taking place sometime before the Battle of Hisseen, which we were previously in. The clones are complaining about the intense heat on the planet, but they aren't the only ones. Even Anakin is absolutely dying in the heat of the intense star of the planet. They are moments away from calling off the mission to rest from the heat, before Trooper Hardcase calls his brothers over. He has discovered some green goo on the floor which the other men do not recognize. Immediately following that, they discover the head of a B-1 battle droid. They are very suspicious of it because there is almost no damage to this head at all. Hardcase is of course having a wonderful time seeing the clankers in pieces, but Anakin and Rex realize that there is something wrong here. They realize that they are being led into some sort of trap by the Separatists. At this point, a clone we've never seen before, called Bello, finds some more of the green goo that Hardcase found earlier. He begins inspecting the green goo, but out of nowhere, Anakin and Rex see something worrying in the distance, calling Bello to return to them immediately. Clone Trooper Bello doesn't realize that there is a vicious beast standing right behind him with bright red eyes. The beast then takes hold of Bello with his tongue, as his clone brothers begin opening fire on the beast, hoping that it will let him go. Anakin realizes that the whole thing was a trap all along and calls his men back. Hardcase refuses to obey Anakin and Rex's order, continuing to fire at the beast. The beast eventually knocks Hardcase to the floor with extreme force, leaving him helpless. Anakin orders Rex to get the rest of his men to safety and assures Rex that he would never leave one of his brothers behind. I absolutely love this. It really shows Anakin's commitment and love for his clone troopers, unlike some other generals. Hardcase is on the floor ready to accept his death before Anakin arrives, using the Force to push the vicious beast away from him. Anakin berates Hardcase for not following orders but ultimately forgives him. Hardcase then escapes the scene, leaving Anakin and the beast alone in a one-on-one fight. After underestimating the beast, Anakin is forcefully pushed into a tree but does not give up. He uses the Force to propel his lightsaber blade into the trunk of a tree, cutting it in half, making it fall onto the beast. While the tactic does initially work and traps the beast, it quickly escapes, posing an even bigger threat to Anakin. At this point, Anakin is on the backhand and is facing the real possibility of being crushed on the spot by the vicious beast. Fortunately for him though, Rex comes to his aid, using Anakin's line from earlier, saying, "No one gets left behind, sir, no one." With the assistance of Rex, Anakin is able to use his lightsaber to slice the leg of the beast into pieces, saving Anakin's life. Without the help of Rex, Anakin would certainly have been overpowered by the massive creature. After the ordeal, Rex mentions that by the rules of the Grand Army of the Republic, Anakin technically could have left Hardcase behind after he failed to follow orders. But Anakin quickly retorts, saying that clones are more than just soldiers, and that he does not take having their lives in his hands lightly. Rex then thanks Anakin for the thought, to which Anakin tells him to get used to the crazy missions in the future. That's where Rex's story to Commander Cody ends, and we cut straight back into the Battle of Hisseen, where another wave of battle droids has begun attacking the Republic forces. Clone Trooper Boost has picked up a hologram communication from Plo Koon, who states that the message must be transmitted to Commander Wolf. Plo Koon says time is of the essence, but the transmission cuts out and they are unable to properly hear the message. In the background, you can see Anakin engaged in a duel with Count Dooku behind Plo Koon. And that's where the story ends. That is exactly how Captain Rex saved Anakin from a vicious beast at the start of the Clone Wars. Let me know down in the comments below which of the 3 clone leaders that appeared in this comic is your favourite. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more awesome Star Wars theory and lore content. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.